For those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, it will be the start of autumn. And I'd like to say a few words about making the seasonal shift. The equinox is in part about balance. Autumn is about letting go, like the leaves falling, and harvest. I will be speaking more about balance and letting go next week as part of our Equinox Labyrinth Walk and Ritual. For today, I'd like to speak about one way to approach the idea of harvest. In these remaining days of summer, I invite you to take the opportunity to reflect on the last 3 months. Think of all that has happened since the summer solstice on June 20th. Take this time to acknowledge and name all that you have experienced, the good, the bad, the ugly. And as you think about harvest, think about the gifts that have been produced or that you have received and what you can be grateful for. And I'd like to say something about gratitude during these difficult times. I invite you to be grateful in a way that doesn't discount or dismiss or belittle any of the difficulties or sadness or grief you might have been experiencing. And I'd like to share with you some thoughts about a post by Molly Housh Gordon, the Unitarian Universalist Church in Columbia, Missouri. Being grateful is not about positive thinking or wishing away our difficulties. Being grateful is a way for us to be reminded that, as Molly says, the world is both beautiful and terrible, and we cannot forget about the beauty if we are to survive the terrible. True gratitude in hard times looks something like a deep and. So more about this deep and, which I love this thinking and approach. And it reminded me of something I had learned many years ago about the words and the word but. When you say something, you make a statement and use but, it has a tendency to erase or negate everything previous to it. Replacing the word but with and shifts the energy, the feeling, and the meaning of what you say. So if you find yourself following something you say about your suffering or hard times with, but at least I should be grateful for, stop and try again. As Molly says, there's no but or at least or should about your suffering. It is a truth in and of itself. So for example, you could say, this summer has been really hard. I've been struggling with things, but I shouldn't complain. My family's fine. Instead, try saying, this summer has been really hard. I've been struggling with things, and I'm grateful that my family is healthy. You can hold both the suffering and the gratitude. So take this time to think about harvest. What are you harvesting from your summer? What are you grateful for as we move into the next season? And if you want, you can check out this week's recording of our Labyrinth Walk. We used this practice of gratitude as we walked. You can find that as a helpful tool in thinking about gratitude or meditation.